Okay everyone, we are in a 2015 Audi Q3 Prestige, 2.0T Quattro, 200 horsepower, 207 pound-feet of torque, 6-speed torque converter automatic. It's a brand new car. It's only got about 517 miles on it, so let's start it up and go for a little ride. Make sure it's muted. Okay. This is probably the slowest and thirstiest car in its class, but it definitely has a smooth powertrain. The transmission is not afraid to downshift if you need more power. The transmission does shift kind of slowly. I don't know how well you can see the tack from there, but it's definitely not a sporty CUV. It rides pretty quietly. It's really, really good over speed bumps, which I was not expecting with 19-inch rims clomping around, but it's really well sorted. You can still feel some little tiny frequency jittering over some crappier roads, but overall it's pretty good. Interestingly, I do like the steering feel a little bit more than the A4. It's not quite as loose feeling to me. One annoying thing I noticed on the highway, there was a little bit of reverberation from the tires. I don't know if one of them's out of balance or what. It wasn't very bad. It might have just been the road, but it was very small or minor. And I also noticed that it's almost impossible to just cancel the cruise control, because if you don't do it just right, you just turn it off. So it's really hard to use the cancel function on the cruise control. So I just turned it off like every single time. Don't have that problem in my car. It's just a weird switch. Obviously, you do get some body roll. It does kind of bob around a little bit. It's really a jacked up, just front-wheel drive car, adapted with all-wheel drive. But it's solid. I like how it drives, so not bad. Brakes are smooth and progressive. Got some of the bigger ruts that'll kind of shudder the car a little bit, but over a big speed hump or something, it's fine. What I always try to do when I get in a car that has big wheels on, like this car has 19-inch wheels on, is I like to see if I would know, or like if it was obvious to me that the car has big wheels on, and if I didn't know before I got into it. And it wasn't, it's not obvious, if you know what I mean. It's not like I got in the car like, wow, this car must have giant wheels on it, it rides like shit. No, it's fine. It's not obvious that the wheels are huge. But it's a really good size car. You know, if I was going to buy a little CUV, I'd want something that's kind of this size. Not like an ugly little jacked up hatchback like the GLA, which I hate the GLA. But, no, I really like this car for this type of thing. I wish I had a little more grunt to it. Hopefully they'll update it with that new 252 horsepower version of this engine that the 2016 A6 has. That would be a nice welcome addition to this car and the Q5. I'm like 95% to where I would like to be. Ideally adjusted. The steering wheel doesn't quite go down far enough for me. Doesn't quite come close enough to compensate for how close the brake pedal is, which is kind of annoying. So I don't quite fit in this car. It's not perfect, but it's not, you know, bad. But I kind of talked about that in my last video. So just trying to stay focused on the dynamics. First take off in first gear, the engine sounds kind of grainy. It definitely, even though it's the exact same engine with the exact same tune as the Jetta Wolfsburg edition, you can definitely tell it's got a different exhaust on it. The Jetta sounds kind of sporty and low pitch. It's just, you can only hear like the grainy, grumbling four-cylinder kind of sound, if that makes any sense. This road up here is absolutely terrible in terms of ruttedness, so let's see how it does. It's really not bad. Definitely feels Germanic. I don't know how much of the road you can see, so sorry if you can't see much of the road. It doesn't like float or wallow all over the place. It's got a typical, pretty taut German ride, but it's smooth about it. So I really can't fault the chassis much. A little bit of body roll, but I expect. This is not a canyon carver. Transmission's doing a good job staying in fourth all the way up this hill, or most of the way anyway. So nice to see that it doesn't like lug its way up in sixth. Somebody just bought a nice Mark 7 Golf TDI Sport Wagon. the S3. Alright. Alright. And let's go. Surprise, we got the Kia Sedona in 2 seconds. I'm gonna ruin my fun corner. Maybe I'll just hang back a little bit. Okay, Audi. Yeah, I wish I could try one of these with the sport seats because it's just a little bit too much lumbar in these. A little uncomfortable. Well, not much more for thrills is going to happen behind a base model, previous generation silver Kia Sedona minivan. So, needless to say, I'm going to pull over my usual turnaround spot, or my usual pullover spot, and we'll cut the video there. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little ride along in the Audi Q3.